Hey guys, what's going on? It's Michael from GPURisers.com, and today we're doing the last part in our video series on the 3080 LHR. Hey everyone, welcome back to the GPURisers.com YouTube channel. Today's going to be our last video on the 3080 LHR. We're going to be going over the ROI analysis and my final thoughts on this card. If you guys see the test bench back there, we took the 3080 LHR off of the test bench right when it hit 7 days. We then threw on a new card that is going to be the next card that we do a video series on, which is the 3080 Ti. So right off of the bat, I think the 3080 LHR is a good buy if you can get it for the right price. And by right price, I mean anything remotely close to the MSRP of the card. So as you can see here, exactly 1 week of mining with the 3080 LHR non-stop brought in about $45.12 US dollars. And again, this screenshot was taken right at 7 days. So let's break that down into a daily revenue from this card. Breaking this out into 7 days, we have $45.12 divided by 7. This card brought in on average about $6.45 a day. Now let's compare that with NiceHash's profitability charts and see where we came in. So if we go to their profit calculator here, we can enter the hardware manually. You type in 3080 here, select the LHR, run calculate, and it says here about $5.80 a day after electricity. Now before electricity, this card brings in $6.32. This card has been on average about 220 watts the entire time. That doesn't include the total system wattage, which is an additional 50 to 60 watts on top of that. So we took this card off about 2 days ago when the screenshot was taken. And over those 7 days, the card brought in $6.45 as compared to NiceHash's $6.32. I think that's a pretty close estimate. And that's kind of in line of the numbers that I ran before I did the week-long test with this card. At this point, let's go ahead and plug this number into our ROI calculator, and we can figure out if this card is worth buying or not. Here's the sheet that I use for the 3060 Ti LHR. I'm going to go ahead and just continue to update this sheet as we test new cards. And I know some of you guys have asked if I can put this doc online so that you guys can see it. So I have it uploaded to Google Docs, and you'll be able to download that in the description below. But for now, let's go ahead and plug these numbers in and see where we land. So this brought in $6.45 per day. And to calculate the electricity, I'm going to go to what to mine. And once you're on what to mine, you can kind of just click anything really. All we're trying to just do is see what 220 watts a day costs. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this to 220 watts, run calculate. And as you can see here, $6.10 minus $5.75 comes out to 35 cents a day to run this card. So let's plug that number into our sheet. We'll do 0.35. So that brings our total income to $6.10 a day on average for this card over 7 days. Now we have to put in the total price of the card. The total price of this card came out to $1,031.20, and that includes tax and shipping. Now, as you can see here, the total days to pay this card off is 169 days. Of course, assuming that the profitability per day continues to stay somewhat around this level. So right off the bat, this card is faster to pay off than the 3060 Ti LHR, despite costing almost $400 more. Now, in comparison, let's go ahead and just take a look at what a 3080 brings in every day. So here, I switched over to the profitability calculator on NiceHash's website, and I put in an RTX 3080 non-LHR. We're going to run calculate. And so this shows it's bringing in $6.65 a day after electricity, $7.17 a day before electricity. So $17.17 as compared to the $6.45 on the LHR model really is not that big of a difference. Now that's about 70 cents per day more on a non-LHR 3080 mining just Ethereum. And that does add up, but that really is not more than a 15% difference as compared to the LHR model of this card per day. To find a 3080 non-LHR, you will have to go to a third-party market such as eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, StockX. So actually, while I'm talking about that, let's just go ahead and throw those numbers in here so that we can do a real-time comparison on the ROI compared to a 3080 LHR and non-LHR. So I'm going to go ahead and put in $7.17 here. I will put 35 cents in here because it is, again, is going to be the same wattage as the LHR model, 220 watts. Now, if we equal that out, that is going to equal $6.82 a day. after electricity. I usually go to StockX as an accurate representation of what the prices are in the third-party market on graphics cards. That's because they have a bid and an ask on every single product, and it lets the market kind of control what it is rather than an auction that's going off. Much like the stock price of a security of something of that sort, or even crypto, there's a bid and an ask, and I believe that that shows what the true market price of the item is. So let's pop open StockX here. Go ahead and type in a 3080 RTX. Now here you can see tons of the different options here. Let's go ahead and just find the cheapest 3080 that we can find. We have a Ventus at $1,700. Here we have a 3080 XC3 Ultra from EVGA at $1,440. Now after clicking that, you can see that this is actually an LHR model. And the founder editions here are $1,809. Here's an XC3 Ultra for $2,000. Here's a Gigabyte 3080 for $1,680. Now, this one actually is a non-LHR. So the last sale here was for $1,560. They're asking $1,680, and the highest bid is $1,480. In all fairness, let's just go with $1,560 as the price of this card. Now, of course, you're going to be paying fees for that on top of this, but let's just use this as an example. We'll go back over to our sheet. We'll plug that price in, $1,560. Now right here with $1,560 is the price of a 3080 non-LHR. We're looking at a 229-day ROI on this card. Now I'm not going to go into detail with this one on the tax side of it. However, just from seeing this here, 229 days as an ROI on a card over $1,500 is not really going to be worth it to me. It's not a horrible ROI on a card. Anything under, a year is definitely something to look at. But once Ethereum switches to proof of stake, we're going to be switching all of these cards to algorithms such as Ravencoin and Ergo and all these other ones that are coming up. So is it really worth it to buy a card that's better at mining only Ethereum for 50% more than a card that can mine just as well on all the other algorithms? It might bring home more today to buy a 3080. However, the more money that you have to put up front, it just doesn't make sense to do that. So for third-party markets, I think an RTX 3080 non-LHR is not the best buy that you could do right now. And again, if you're watching this and you want to mine Ethereum, you want to hold or hodl Ethereum as much as possible, and that might be your excuse to say, okay, maybe I want to pay a little more for a card that's mining on Ethereum a little bit better. The reality is you're always going to want to mine what is most profitable. When you mine what is most profitable, you can always switch that coin for another coin. And what I mean by that is mining with a RTX 3080 LHR, mining Ravencoin on a nice hash stratum to then get paid out in Bitcoin. And if I want to swap that Bitcoin that I got, I can then withdraw the Bitcoin for free to Coinbase on NiceHash and then convert the Bitcoin to Ethereum. That's just my 2 cents on it. I will always mine what's most profitable. Even if I want to have or accumulate some speculative tokens, I will convert whatever is most profitable into that token that I want. And let's switch over to just a end of the year tax analysis that I like to do. Here on the sheet, I do need to change these to B3 from the prior sheet. So here I just like to use 25% as an average. I know that there's like a self-employment tax income and there's all of that, but that's more so based on if you still end the year with a gain. So I like to use 25%. There's no real reason why. It kind of falls in line with the tax brackets here in the US. But again, your situation will determine what your tax bracket is. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to use 25% just to show that there is a tax benefit to purchasing more equipment before the end of the year. And by that, I mean if you have a gain for the year. So as explained in the first video I did with the 3060 Ti LHR, if you end the year with a gain, then you will have a tax burden. So if you're going to owe tax on the same amount that you would be purchasing a, just say 3080 LHR with, then you can either roll into the next year and owe tax on $1,031. If you're running this as a business and you purchase this card and you deduct this as an expense on your business or depreciation, there's different ways to do it, then at the end of the year, you will no longer have a tax burden because you have a deduction of $1,031.20, which is the example I kind of like to use in this, is where you're getting close to the end of the year, you have a gain from, trading crypto or from really anything that you do personally, and you're thinking about reinvesting more. It's better to look at the price of the card as a after-tax number. So in this example, the card was $1,031.20. However, looking at it in this view, and this doesn't include the self-employment tax and all of that, but just 25%, again, just using a number so that it's easy to visualize this. If you carry that $1,031.20 into the next year as a gain, rather than buying a card this price, you would have a tax burden of $257.80. But instead, if you bought the card, the best way to look at it is taking off that tax amount that you would pay if you did carry the gain into the next year off of the price of the card now. Here you can see the after gain tax price that I have here on the 3080 LHR is $773.40. Calculating the days to pay that card off, it brings it down to 127 days. And really, that's only 4 months. And at the end of the 4 months, you have a 3080 LHR. Odds are a 3080 LHR will still be mining in 4 months from now. I thought 160 days to pay off the 3060 Ti LHR was great, but after running the numbers on the 3080 LHR, this is a lot better than I think most people were expecting. Personally, my 2 cents on this, I will definitely be on the lookout for 3080 LHRs. They're more expensive and they consume more power, but it's also consolidation of your rig farm. You can have 30 cards running, all producing tons of heat, tons of space, tons of sound, but in my opinion, it's better to have 10 cards that are more powerful and more efficient as a whole than to have all of these cards spread out everywhere. I believe that these cards are going to be easier and easier to get. It's just finding the right algorithms for these cards. And I think Kapow is doing great. It might be doing awful tomorrow. I don't know. But for now, especially with the price point of these cards, I think it's worth the shot. The resale value on these 3080s LHRs, I think, are going to be great as well. I don't think that they're going to rapidly decline. As I touched on with the 3060 Ti review, these cards are great at gaming. The 3000 series was a milestone with 4K gaming and 1440p. 3080 and the 3060 Ti, the 3000 series were really a game changer for NVIDIA, and these cards are great at gaming. You can run pretty much any AAA title on a 3080 LHR on 4K with pretty good settings. And there are tons of gamers out there waiting to get their hands on these. And even a couple of years from now, 4K gaming might go up to 120 hertz, 240 hertz, things of that nature. But with the amount of VRAM on a 3080, which is 10 gigabytes, these cards really, in my personal opinion, are going to be holding value. And I don't see these cards depreciating anywhere near as quick as how much they're bringing in every day. And so looking at the days to pay off this card being only 127, I don't see the salvage value of this card in 127 days being much lower than what MSRP is. So just personally, I'm going to be throwing some of these cards in whenever I can get a hold of them for MSRP. I'm going to be putting them in our mining farm here, and I'm going to be mining Ravencoin and whatever's most profitable with it. But I hope that this video helped all of you guys out there. I'm going to be kind of doing a whole long list of different cards. And then I kind of want to build like a Frankenstein rig where we kind of throw a couple of these cards on one rig and just let it mine indefinitely and see how many days it actually takes to pay it off. And I think that the value in that, in making a video and actually doing a full test like that, is that you can actually see if these things are accurate. If doing a forecast like this, a financial forecast, to see how long it takes to ROI on a card like this, to see if that's accurate, I think is extremely valuable. Because then when you get new cards and you're unsure, you can run kind of numbers like this, and if it's worked in the past, it might work in the future. So I'll stop rambling and I'll leave it here. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, go ahead and drop one down below. We'll try to test whatever we can with these cards. And if you liked what you guys saw, go ahead and hit that like button. It does help us out. And subscribe to our channel. We're going to be coming out with a bunch of different stuff. But until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you guys next time.